McLoughlin is a blow-in from Lurgan and has lived just outside of Bamburgh for the last 7 years with her husband and 2 dogs, as well as more recently a small patch of pumpkins, which are unfortunately still very small and very green. Her debut novel, which I must say is absolutely delicious, is called The Many Ghosts of Donahue Burns. It was published by Bonnier Books earlier this month and is available for purchase now. Her story tonight is delightfully called The Mortician's Daughter. At least someone appreciates the family business. Welcome, Laura.
The Mortician's Daughter. The body came with a warning. He's done bad things, awful things, and no one else will have him, the man at the door said. But his mother wants him to look nice. You can understand that. Marina, cloaked in the hallway shadows, listened ever more intently to her father's conversation with the stranger, but the men were too muttered and low. All she could grasp was something about a curse. Something about the devil. Then there was quiet, followed by the slow squeal of the mortuary gurney wheeling into the street where an unfamiliar hearse was still idling. Marina waited until her father went to bed before letting herself into his mortuary. Once inside, she flew moth-like to the wall of silver cabinets where she knew the mysterious body lay. She eased the drawer into the light and her breath quickened. Having grown up in the funeral home, she was not shocked by the dead, but this body was different. So few corpses here were ever this young, maybe only 17, the same as she, and none were this beautiful either. The dead man had a sharp, pert nose, a head of golden hair, and if it were not for the cruel, crusting gash carved between his hairline and cheekbone, Marina could not name a single imperfection on his lovely grey face. "Hello," she whispered to the corpse. "My name is Marina. I heard that no one else wanted you, and I know just how that feels. The girls in my school used to call me Corpse Bride and say I had death germs, so I hated them, which Daddy said was unkind, but they deserved my hatred. Is that what happened to you?" She stared down at him. Eventually, she continued, "I think it did. I think you had a good reason. I know that I had a good reason. Of course, I didn't kill any of those girls, but..." She thought back to those last days in school, before she had been expelled, before even the teachers looked at her differently. I don't know why everyone was so upset about a class pet anyway. Hamsters only live a year. The young man, she felt, agreed with her. It wasn't fair. And then, when the teacher called Daddy, he didn't even stand up for me. He just took me home and started teaching me here instead, and he tries, but it's ever so lonely, painfully so. She felt as though the young man wanted to take her hand, but of course his bones could not comply, so she put her hand on his instead and smiled. "Well, not anymore," she carried on. "You're here now. Though..." Her smile vanished. Dread, cold as the morgue, found her. "Though tomorrow Daddy will fix you up and send you on your way. You'll be safe underground and I'll be..." She gripped his hand tighter. "Oh, I'll still be here, won't I? Except now it will be worse because I will have met the one person who has ever understood me, only for them to be taken from me just as quickly." Marina leaned close to him, and if he had been living, she knew she would have scented his cologne, his breath, but as it was, there was nothing except the vague odour of rot, and her tears splashed his cheeks. "But you're right," she told him softly, easing herself onto the drawer. "I can still stay tonight. I just wish I could stay forever." And she couldn't be sure how she knew, but Marina felt him telling her that he wanted that too. The next morning, when Marina's father entered the mortuary, he found that one of the drawers was still open. Cool air leaked into the room, and he exhaled with frustration that Marina had been tampering with his work again. Except as he approached the drawer, he realised that there was something strange about it, something he didn't have words for, even as it came into focus. He pulled the drawer out, eyes wide, mind blank. The boy's skin glimmered green under the cold mortuary light, Marina, head resting under his chin, was just as pale. Thank you.